and welcome to End, the podcast where we talk about all things pony and a few things not. I'm your host, Duhad. Joining me as always are my lovely co-hosts, the Lightning Rabbit,
Hello.
Cabralo95,
I'm Cabralo95.
and joining us, the head of Radio is Magic, DJ Jack.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everyone doing?
We're all good.
Sorry, that reminded me of Toy Story when the shark went, howdy, howdy, howdy.
Was that Toy Story?
Okay.
Yeah, that was Toy Story. Remember the
The
shark
the line is, hey, look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Give me that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez, I need to rewatch those movies. Anyway, we're doing pretty well. How are you doing, Jack?
I'm doing fine. A bit tired from my travels the last few days, but I'm doing well. Thank you. And you?
Yeah, I think we mentioned we're doing pretty okay. Been a bit of a crazy week.
If you want the
For
long
those-
story, I'm a bit sad actually. No.
Right. Well, let's not get into Lightning's personal life again.
Again? What was this?
There's the lost episode of End to End.
Oh
where
yeah.
It just devolved into.
It's just like
this-
me lying on a sofa and Duhad like talking me through all my problems in life. That didn't happen, by the way. There is no lost
No,
episode.
that doesn't happen when you get a bunch of really dramatic people together who do entertainment to me. Not at all. I mean,
No, not at all.
Not entertaining.
There is no drama, and there's no way in heck that as soon as End to End ends, there's going to be another show that pops up immediately afterwards called Behind the Scenes of End to End. All the stuff we didn't tell you on air.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff I secretly
I love them
can upload.
spin-offs.
The episode isn't lost. I just deliberately deleted the file and said it was lost. Because no one knows, because I'm the only one that edits the
Lost
files.
it in the trash can, right?
The file
Yes.
was corrupted.
Really?
Right.
Yes.
So, those of you who have been watching the last couple of episodes of End to
So
End,
sorry for you.
we do. You probably will have noticed that Radio is Magic Entertainment has actually been appearing in the Dogs That Will Not Stop Barking. Sorry?
Yes, they have. Isn't that right, Jack?
You really have to stop with the whole weird
Well,
flowing into sentences. Anyway,
Yeah, you do.
Right.
That sounds like an interesting show, though. The Dogs That Will Not Stop Barking, Saturdays at 10 a.m. only on the Hub.
Sounds more like a mystery.
It is.
Dogs stop barking, or the dog barks at night.
My God. Anyway, at
Mother of
least
God.
you would have been able to see that. You should have seen that Radio is Magic Entertainment has been appearing on the credits for the episodes, and we
You
have
won't
been
have seen
mentioning
that
Radio is
yet.
Magic.
it'll be this
What?
episode I put the new thing in.
Well, no. I mean, the animation obviously is only going to appear in this episode first, but I mean, we mentioned it, and it's in the descriptions,
Okay.
or should be.
If someone's
Anyway.
doing the job.
So, for those of you who are curious about what Radio is Magic is and didn't follow the links, which makes you
Me.
terrible people, because you really should follow those links. We put those there.
No. You don't. They're not terrible people. They're just lazy. I
Misguided.
mean, I think you're misguided. Yes, it's like it's hard to choose. Okay, go into the unknown or stay with the nice and comfortable. So it's okay. No,
Be
we don't
adventurous.
bite much over at RIM.
I didn't click the links. Does that make me lazy?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It makes you
Making sure.
lazy because it was your duty to click the links.
You had.
Wait, when was it my duty?
you
we
had.
assigned duties? I like
Since we were
duties.
partnered with them, it became your duty to visit their website.
That was like part of the meeting that people were supposed to go over to the site I linked to you guys, and
I went over there. I'm like, pretty page, and I think I went to go listen to more classic rock and roll.
That sounds like a average evening. Yeah, I approve of that. That's good enough
Good
in my book.
substitute.
It's
Right.
a California excuse.
well, Cabral, this will be a learning experience for you too, I guess. So,
Yay.
DJ Jack, you are the head of Radio is Magic Entertainment, which is a fan radio site, as well as something of a blog site for MLP, as well as other, a whole bunch of other things, actually.
Actually, yeah, it's come a lot more than that, and that's one of always the interesting things, at least for me, when it comes to describing the group, because it started off as something so simple, but nowadays I usually label it as a entertainment site that has a variety of entertainment blogs as well as a live stream where we do a variety of different shows for anyone welcome to listen to. Yes, we started off as being primarily brony based, but now we're trying our best to also incorporate other fan bases as well, because if we really want to, love and tolerate, you gotta love and tolerate everyone's interests. So
Everyone.
throw in, get
Yeah.
some anime, video games. I at one point tried to do actually a book club show.
Oh, jeez, that'd be cool.
I like books. Books are my friends.
Yeah, the title of that book, that show is going to be "This Is My Book," and I'm gonna.
I'm gonna read it.
Yeah,
I just actually that was on the hub today. I was watching it.
yeah. Unfortunately, though, the host of that show got caught up with a lot of life issues, and that idea got put on to the shelf with many others. But yeah, right now I think we have. Let's say we have a variety of blogs which are ever increasingly in number, which is you fellows here are also doing one now as well. Thank you for that. It's cool to have plenty more content to give people.
You're plenty welcome. We're
Mm-hmm.
happy to be involved in that.
Yeah. But on top of that, the live stream shows, which is what our whole group was based on, we do 4 or 5 a week with rotating shows on those days. So overall, we maybe broadcast, want to say maybe 10 or 11 different shows throughout the week or throughout the month. Yeah. The schedule's been changing left and right because a lot of us are in college or have jobs, and that changes like from month to month. So
No, that's more than fair.
yeah.
Just like for me.
And I'm sure most people who the thing with end to end is actually a lot of people who listen to it are actually people who work on other projects or we have a lot of cross fan base with people who work on other big groups and big projects and stuff. And so I think most of the listener base will be able to really kind of understand where you're coming from when you're saying, yeah, real life can be a real pain in the butt when it comes to trying to run a successful, show.
Entertainment group, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the nice thing is that, as I've told many, many people before, we are trained amateurs at best. We are learning every day, every month as the process has gone on. Not to get too back into what feels like ancient history for me now, but I mean, all this started because one summer while I was back still in college, which is kind of weird to say.
Back when I was in college.
Yeah, I'm graduated now, which is
fancy.
Yes, I'm still unemployed.
Sorry, I thought that was required.
Yeah, that's okay. No, it's all right. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick because it can get lengthy if I don't watch myself. So please stop me if it gets too boring.
Stop.
Okay, that's the story of magic. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go now.
Bye.
Okay, no. Okay, long story short, 2 years ago, I studied abroad in London. Loved it to death. While I was there, I got bit by the radio bug. When I came back to the States, I kept it up. I did a show by myself. And come that summer, which was like the summer of 2012, I want to say. Yeah, 2012. I wanted to take it to the next level and try to do a daily radio show. I knew the people who were in charge of the radio station at my college. I had access to it. I was going to be in the area anyway. And I asked them, hey, would you mind if I did this? And I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. Why not? So it also happened at the time. I was also joining a Brony forum. I figured, I have access to equipment and a captive audience and a ever-growing base of material when it comes to music. Why not broadcast it to them? And as I started to ask them, hey, does anyone have any interest in this? People said, yeah, but can I also help out? And I was like, okay, why not? Yeah, sure. And next thing you know it, I had 27 people willing to help make what became the foundation for the original series of shows, which was called Radio is Magic, which was chosen by the group at large as well as their mascot and everything. And from there, it just kind of took off to going into having to find our own stream because I couldn't use the station at my school forever, to developing a website, to developing radio dramas and blogs, and pretty soon a podcast. And it's just been incredible that we've been doing this for over a year and a half now, and I'm still in charge of it all. I mean, I'll be honest. I had never expected going to college that as I would leave, I would be in charge of something so great and fantastic. And I'm just happy to be able to share it with what I consider to be my friends, my family. And because you know what? What makes our group great is not really me. Good God, no. I'm just the person that encourages the talents of everyone else. I mean, what I feel so prideful about it is that it is as big as it is because of the talents, the joy we have hanging out with one another. We're just basically a group of friends who want you to come join us once in a while. And that's what I always try to do. That's what I've always have set out to do when I first started this thing way back when I just had that station at college. I know what it's like to be a struggling artist and trying your darn hardest to get your stuff out there. And since then, I've always tried to do just that, to help people get their talents, their work, be it art, music, acting, jokes, writing, cartooning, you name it. And that's why when um, End to End came to us and said, "Hey, do you mind if we can throw our stuff up there?" But I said, "Yeah, sure," because that's what I want to do. I want to help people get their stuff out there more and more.
More than fair. More than fair.
And the rest is history, or future,
The rest
or
is
present.
history.
And the rest is more or less where we are actually at this very moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So the
Kinda
rest
reminds
is
me of,
yet to come.
Kind of reminds me of the ideas I had for Muffin Lum Productions as well, because End to End is actually Duhad's entire idea. The channel, though, is owned by me and Delta. I had similar ideas because I wanted people to be able to upload as friends. A lot of my friends definitely upload whatever talents they had. I wanted them to get known. So the channel had a large fan base, as decent fan base as it was, and very good fans. I love them all, and they're respectful and they're fun to talk with actually. And I wanted to be able to have it so my friends could get known for their talents as well. That's why End to End's on here. That's why the animation station's on here and some other stuff. So
Though before you go giving out too much credit, I should point out, I didn't actually come up with End to End all by myself. That was actually me and Lightning Rabbit actually came up with the idea together, and the name actually End to End came from Lightning Rabbit. That was his goal, and so that awesome name, totally 100%, Alice's baby.
Yeah. You don't need to big it up
yes,
too much. It sounded like
that's
you were
the
trying
British mind for you.
like. Oh, Alex, you came up with the best idea ever with that name. It's okay. I won't
It's
stop
amazing
editing.
and so great, in fact, that someone as intelligent and awesome as you would totally not mind making some custom animations for some other projects I'm working on.
I won't stop editing this if you don't respect me. It's fine.
Anyway, but no, that is actually that is a very noble mindset, and definitely as Cabral just said, that is pretty much exactly why the way Muffin Lovin' Productions kind of started, and a lot of the reason why Muffin Lovins has kind of gotten the fan base it has, and wow, the fan base it has is pretty wonderful. Comes a lot from, I think, a lot of people really respecting the very open way it's run, and the fact that pretty much anyone, any fan, can have kind of their moment in the sun to come on the show and do things. Whether it be in the readings or
originally Duhad was just a fan of the channel, so
Yeah.
I was
now
just a
look
fan.
where
I
it is.
decided I wanted to come on, try and do a reading. I did the Russian Rainbow Dash character for the Crystal Empire reading. And from there just sort of eventually mutated into running a show on the channel.
Yeah, so now he's gone from wasting his time watching the videos to wasting his time making the videos.
It's a huge step up.
Yeah. Ever so slightly better than before.
Yeah, but the point of all that is that we totally understand where you're coming from, Jack, and I think Muffin Lovin' Production fans would totally really really like what you guys are doing over on Radio's Magic.
Yeah, and I hope they do. I hope they do because in the year and in 2 months now, I say, since the day when I first started the first broadcast or show, we are trying our very best to bring entertainment to anyone who's willing to listen. As I always say, let's put on like a fantastic show. I love to entertain people. I before I get further on to what I was going to say, and to me, entertainment, acting, performing is about the audience, about giving them a great show to cheer up their day. Because in this world, you need a lot of things. You need naturally food, air, water, a house above your head, maybe a job, or maybe someone close by. But have always felt that another big part of it is just reason to laugh, something to, like, to really feed the soul through art or creativity, and that's kind of to do with our stuff. So when I say we were trying to put an entertainment site, we're trying to do just that, trying to have a variety of live shows for people to jump on and talk to us as we talk about video games or anime in our one show on Equinimation, or maybe check into one of the blogs to get a more of a slower pace. It's just I hope this is coming in through clearly because,
Oh, it
like I
is.
say, a bit jet lag.
Content for just about everyone in any kind of like entertainment need, so to speak. You want to be able to provide any kind of entertainment for anyone to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, and just kind of like a hub for people, for a place for people to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because trust me, I mean, I know I recall a few times I've talked to a few people who wanted to work with us, and one of the biggest concerns was, okay, what would we do? Would we try to be like some crazy gooey monster slime thing and like absorb you into our collection? Blah, blah, blah. No, I mean, speaking from experience there, where we had our own fears of joining with networks, which thou not go unnamed, um, that it's freaky to see yourself, okay, trying to join this bigger thing because you really want to get your stuff out there to help people and entertain people, but you don't want to lose your own identity. So I'm hoping as we go along that we will do everything we can to help you guys get yourself out there, get the whole end-to-end story bigger and greater to more people. And if nothing else, I hope we have a good time doing it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a
Yeah.
terrible time doing it. No, I'm joking. It's been
And
fun.
the reverse obviously goes with us. We want our our fans to really be able to kind of go out there and find radio's magic, because I think there's a lot of people who like the people we host very infrequent live shows, and we'll have like 20, 30, 40 people come on the live stream,
Mhm.
and they are like, yo, do this more often. We're like, we can't really do this that often because of the nature of our group. We're
Time zones.
time zones, yeah. So
California, Maine,
know-
and England. Let's work with that.
so things like there's this huge group of people who like the show, but who really would prefer to have the live stream version. And you guys do that. You guys have very end-to-end shows that have that do what we do,
Yep,
but in a
yep.
live stream.
Yeah,
And
yeah. As I said, we have. Oh, sorry. Oh, but go ahead.
No,
this is your
I
show.
was a stupid comment. I was just gonna say I love the way he said end to endy. But anyways,
Okay, yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we have right now we have four. Well, how to say this? How to say this? Well, we have one show a day from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Thursday, and every other Friday, week after week. On Mondays we have live stream shows, which either could be Equinimation, which is talking about anime, that's hosted by my friend and almost brother, Pony Vegeta, who is actually a writer on film fiction, but he hosts Equinimation. They usually cover random shows here and there that even I have never known of. But then again, I'm not that well versed in it, hence why he's hosting. But he also hosts The Flying Dutchman, which is a video game discussion. On Tuesdays, we have My Little Breakdown, which is hosted by our Nurse Redheart, aka Epona, which I rather call him the letter because Zelda's awesome. Um, but no, he hosts My Little Breakdown, which is usually does breakdowns of the show we all hold dear and close to our hearts.
what show's that?
Batman animated series. No,
heck,
That's on the hub. That is on the hub. It is a
It
great
is.
show.
Yeah, no, My Little Pony, of course.
Oh,
That's why.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, but that switches out with the Ivory Tower, which is actually a show I'm really glad we brought back to our lineup. It's our serious talk show. That's the show where we look at things going on in the world today and talk about them.
Government shutting down. There you go.
Pardon?
Are you gonna be talking about the government shutting down in America?
Probably. I mean, in their next episode, I don't know. Like
I mean, it's
used to
kind
think-
of a big issue.
Yeah, and that's actually the kind of stuff we talk about because I mean, it came up in the concern that as we talk about video games and cartoons and what have you, that there's still some important stuff going out there in the world, and we wanted to bring that up. So hence the Ivory Tower. Wednesdays is our kind of our art day. It's either going to be, or either it's going to be The Magics, hosted by yep, it's just hosted by my dear sweetheart Chickadee. She usually goes and looks at a variety of deviant artists and critiques their work with her co-hosts. Or it would be, we're still, this is working title, Chickadee's Scribbles, or Scribbles with Chickadee, where she will try stuff live on the live stream. She's actually has quite the talent, and yeah, that I can't see how that turns out.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
and
nice.
Thursdays, we only have one show for sure on Thursdays, and that is Derpin Thursday, which is basically the random talk show where our host, Pad Save, a lovely Canadian, goes and chooses essentially or maybe a random topic or theme, and the conversation goes from there. I mean, the last one I was on, it started off talking about office shenanigans, and it ended up going to Halloween, and I believe a debate on which was better between pie and cake.
That's silly.
Yeah.
Cake is clearly superior.
You know what? It sounds like anything I'd talk about. If you get into a conversation with me, I switch topics. Like I don't know, like what, but
I can testify.
Yeah, we can all attest to that.
Yeah.
I think most fans of End to End can attest to that.
Yeah.
Since
Your
more or
topics
less,
keep going.
most of our titles are essentially what we start talking about, and then by the end of it, we end up going like, okay, so what was it? We were actually, what was, what were we talking about?
Yeah.
French, remember?
We're not getting back on the subject of the French. We're not going back there. We've already lost enough French fans.
Yeah.
We had no French fans to begin with.
Uh,
I don't even think they have internet over there.
Oh,
Anyways.
comments.
Cousin liked the show
yeah.
until you started talking.
Uh-huh. Okie dokie.
That's
Yes.
a dark
Hello,
past
how are
that we
you?
happen to
I'm
have.
trying really hard to withhold my own comments on France. I've promised Chickadee that I would stop and be more polite about it.
Oh, so
Oh
fellow-
god, yeah, but we
It's
actually
gonna end up happening to me.
yeah,
Well,
but
good on
we
you.
have a very joking, very obviously not serious
disclaimer.
disclaimer.
About
Obviously,
it's a joking, not so serious talk about England Zoo they have over there.
Well,
so
I
we
can
try to
see
keep
that-
it as
Well,
With our,
England's
Hmm?
England's fantastic. Come on, what's more to say?
It's-
Which I wanted to
sure,
ask.
England is fantastic.
Yeah, Lightning, Lightning Rabbit, you're the one that lives in England, yes?
Yes, I am the expert on England.
I was gonna ask you, what part of England do you live in?
South London.
I studied abroad in the western side by Twickenham, between
Oh,
Kingston
yeah.
and Richmond.
I've got an uncle who lives near Twickenham, but not in Twickenham.
Nice, nice.
I live in Central California. That's pretty
Yes,
west.
we know where you live, AR.
You've mentioned it almost
You
every
always
episode.
show off about where you live. But yeah, we'll try not to hate the French too much, but I can see this relationship going swimmingly because we all joke about the French at their
I
own
have no
expense.
problem with
Okay.
the French. It's you, Mister.
I do.
Mr.
Yeah, to be
Historical.
fair, I was spoiled by England's politeness and just overall, general welcomeness to what's the word I'm looking for? Openness. Openness. I can't talk today.
There
But
you go.
I speak
Yeah.
good.
Good.
General courtesy towards foreign
Empty.
folk. Yeah, and then my frequent visits to France when I studied abroad. I was dating a girl who was studying abroad there too.
Mm.
Yeah, I visited Lille, Paris, Versailles, plenty of places so often that I'm good for life. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot of French relatives, and we go down there, and all the time I'm always like, hey, I come back and people make French jokes. I'm like, hey, I have French relatives, and they're like, oh, sorry. I'm like, no, it's fine. They're kind of awful to us. Like they're sort of mean.
Yeah.
It's even bad when you know
See?
your relative. No, never mind.
For
Anyways,
ages,
No.
England has been saying to you guys that France isn't a nice place, and you wouldn't listen.
I do have French friends. They're good. I love French people. I just it's just that like all of my family in France are terribly
Ever
mean.
since they invaded us that one time.
Well, just
Lord.
because I brought it up. I think I just brought the subject up once, and then we just went off on a tangent about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
7
happens.
episodes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you were saying
Yes.
about the shows that you have on your station. Was that all of them, or was there?
Nope, there's one more, but I do want to say like the tangents kind of we just went on with France. Yeah, that's basically what kind of happens on Turpin Thursdays.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, the nice thing
yeah,
about
see,
that
sounds
show,
like my kind of show.
yeah, well, the nice thing about the show is that we mostly try to follow what the audience suggests when it comes to talk what we want to talk about. I mean, yeah, that's right. I mean, the last show, at one point, someone requested us to sing, and I ended up singing. What was it? Sing through the tulips with me,
Huh.
something like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I was thinking that song is gonna bother me. I'll look it up later.
I don't remember how it goes, but I do know the song you're talking about.
Yeah, "Dancing Through the Tulips," I think is the name of the song. It's
I don't remember how it goes at all.
the guy who sings it has like a really high pitched tenor, crazy voice, and I had to sing it with my
Yeah.
low baritone.
Hmm.
I'm sure that went amazingly well.
Oh, I nailed it. I did a duet with Chickadee. But yeah, this idea of Dripping Thursdays because we figure with all the other crazy stuff we plan for the rest of the week, kind of nice to have a show where we just sit back and relax. Usually, a lot of random stuff happens those shows.
Yeah.
But the last show,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
goes, yes,
I was just saying exactly. It's nice to have a show where you can just sit down and relax. It's kind of end to end is in some ways. Except for Too Hot, he stresses out about everything.
Yeah.
Well, not
Endlessly.
We
everything.
called him out on it.
yeah. Well, the last live stream show is Showstoppers, where that's the one that used to be every Friday, but because of reasons, it's now going to be every other Friday. Uh, that's the show where we choose random fanfics that are submitted to us on our group Film Fiction and read them live, unrehearsed, improvised.
Oh, we've done that before.
Oh, you remember that
Oh,
one
we
time
have.
with Scriber?
No, we're not.
Oh,
We're
dear
not.
Lord, no.
Oh, the
no.
tangents we went on.
Driver is not allowed near
We even drew
anything even
pictures.
remotely related that has even like the barest hint of PG in
Yeah.
the title.
He's definitely like 21 plus, if that's even a real age rating.
No, he's 40 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should mention
That's possible.
yeah, all of our shows I try to make them PG,
Yeah.
PG-13 at best,
Yeah.
just to help with if not we warn people, but to kind of help keep it. Hey, everyone can listen in without being too worried about it because we have people
Yeah.
working with us that are young as 13 and as old as dirt.
No,
That's a
Muffin Productions is actually the same way. We are technically a
We
PG.
try so hard to
Yeah.
be PG. It's difficult.
Actually,
though.
We failed miserably, especially with if you remember the Equestrian Girls reading.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's because you let a bunch of random people, many of whom had no respect for the PG rating, to
They don't
Well, this
understand.
is true, but I mean, it was but it was the jam jar. You can't deny
fact,
the jam
even
jar.
when we-
Jam Jar is.
Even when we got
Jam
Gene
Jar-
in here, I had to spend like half an hour bleeping out everything he said.
That's right.
To be fair, though, doing shows that go against PG stuff, not only are they kind of hard to do well, but at the same time, fan, and I actually, yeah, I actually did a few of those drunk just to kind of add to it. And no, I mean, I actually went through and made sure we deleted every thought of that because, like, oh god, what were we thinking?
Yeah. The thing is, you can do an R-rated show. It's just that you really have to have people who can do that sort of humor well. Because it's really easy to just go like, oh, swearing's funny, sex jokes are funny, inappropriateness is funny. Let's just throw that into a thing and, it'll be funny.
Yeah, that worked for Scriber.
No, not even remotely.
Exactly. You can only talk about drugs, sex, and alcohol for so long before you just want to go and talk about video games again.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like,
So back to ponies.
R-rated stuff can work, but only if you actually have more to it than just let's do R-rated.
Yeah.
Or else you end up with those scary movies.
If you have it like to complement the video game reviews, I guess then I don't know why I picked video games.
Well, there's the FTL thing that me and you did.
That
was really funny. But like again, the point of that was it was a let's play of FTL that just happened to also be,
us complaining about
deranged and inappropriate.
Yeah. Incidentally, for the benefit of everyone watching, you may have noticed a slight blip in the recording. That's because for some reason Skype kicked me out of the call. But don't worry, we should be recording again. Let me just quickly check. before we carry on.
Oh, technical difficulty.
Yes,
My
we are
friend.
still recording. Carry on.
Yay!
We won't have
Good
to.
thing this is.
Yeah, it's not corrupted, thank God.
Out of curiosity, do you have an improv show on your channel?
Most of the shows are improvised, I would say, because like we don't really plan exactly what we're gonna say. I mean, most people say, okay, here's the few things we're gonna talk about, go from there.
What he means is actually improv comedy, as in like people actually improving, like
actual
improv
actors.
skit comedy.
Not yet. I can't say that the probably people with the most improv experience might appear up on Derp on Thursdays. Vegeta actually made it onto the improv show at BronyCon. Yeah. The next people up would probably be myself and Chickadee if you give her a puppet.
Give her a puppet. I love that. I don't know why. I just love that fact. Like, if you give her a puppet, she can do great improv.
Exactly. I mean, I only noticed because of like 2 days ago. I mean, she's usually like a pretty, reserved, quiet. She's an introvert. But the second we threw a dinosaur puppet in her hand, she was like talking to everyone at Disney World. We went to Disney World this week, and it was crazy. She's like, hey, guess what? What? We're at Disney World. And just talking to like everyone, random strangers, little kids, park attendants.
Talking to strangers.
Exactly. It was just like, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah, we actually used to do this thing. We haven't actually done it in a really long time, which is a shame because it was fun. But we did this. Well, technically they were episode readings. Technically they were readings of the scripts for the episodes, but basically everyone was allowed to just make their own character for like essentially their own version of the characters. And because of that, and then allowed to improv their lines. Like essentially, you had to follow the basic outline of the script, but apart from that, wasn't really all that.
There weren't really any rules. I just got bored one day and decided, hey, let's read the script of My Little Pony, and then people added lines that happened to be funny.
Yeah. So and the whole thing ended up turning into this actually kind of wonderful improv series, and that was kind of infrequent. And me and the Lightning Rabbit actually. Did another series very similar called Improv is Magic, which was basically the same sort of deal, making a...
Yeah, so he's still my thing.
Yes, he stole your thing.
Basically.
And then that died. But
Which I probably stole from someone else not knowing. But the point is...
You can't beat improv. I think that's the main point.
Yeah.
Point is, improv is hilarious and very fun to do.
It is. I do it a lot, actually. Duhad, we need to go actually with Soundspeed do the Gentleman's Club.
Oh, the Gentleman's Club. Yeah, we got to do that again.
We were old British folks, and like, what was it? We don't even know. It was like the late 1800s or something.
Yeah, it was like aged, slightly, senile British gentlemen.
And they were
talking
old
about their glory days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I was
hilarious.
there because I would have taken the utmost
No, you
offense.
You
just would have been saying the choreo going, harumph.
Harumph. I think you're rough about that, man.
The Harumph. Anyway, sorry, that was very silly of me. Anyway.
Speaking of tangents, we just went on one.
Hey,
you qualified for your show?
God.
It's tangent time. Hey, it's time to go on rants. It's tangent time. Hey, let's talk about the band.
I love it when we go on tangents. It's like the only thing we actually do properly anymore.
Well,
No.
we do those reviews really well. I mean,
right,
we
consistently,
we consistently do very, very fine reviews. It's just that, we usually don't do those and instead go on tangential interviews.
It's just all the stuff you have to wade through in between.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though.
That's
the thing. It's part of the idea of the show actually originally was essentially, even before it was an interview show, before it was a review show, before it was anything else, anything that we do now, the idea was essentially me and the Lightning Rabbit in a call talking, about random things, and the conversation actually becoming, fairly cerebral and really, kind of funny and cerebral and weird, and saying, you know what, this would be really fun to listen to, listen back to. And so he said, let's record this and host it somewhere. And that was actually how it started. So to be fair, us going on random tangents is actually kind of appropriate to the original spirit of the show.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, before going any more tangents, though, I'm curious. I mean, so far I've talked about kind of roughly what the group is and about myself and what we do. I mean, do you guys have any other questions about us? Because, I mean, if this is like the first time you actually guys ever introduced us to your fans, or the first time I actually even talked to most of you guys, what do you want to know? I mean, ask away. I'm curious to see what you're most interested to learn about us, or.
What is your social security number?
That is 414-1898.
You just know there's like some random guy who actually has that social security number, and he's just like, no!
148.
Why did you randomly pick those numbers?
Oh, my number!
This is terrible.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Questions. It's so difficult to come up with questions.
Really?
Any plans for the future?
To have a pizza for supper.
Okay.
Oh, the immediate. Yeah,
That's
fair
very
enough.
immediate future. How about
Alright.
in a couple of days' time? Let's see if we can stretch it that far.
Pizza for that dinner, too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I am unemployed, so nice cheap frozen pizza is fantastic.
Oh, lovely.
Job interviews, working on a podcast for EFN. What else?
Which is Everfree Network for
Yep.
those who don't know what that initial stands for.
Yeah, you need
Yep.
to learn your acronyms, guys, watching this.
Yep. Like LOL is. I've learned this yesterday. It doesn't mean load to lasagna. It means laugh out loud. I mean,
What?
Who knew?
Weird.
what?
I always
That
assumed it
was
was
too.
yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Okay.
Anyway,
Wish
Anyway,
someone had
okay.
that.
well, I think we actually more or less kind of ran out of questions. We probably planned this out less well than we have done in the past, but that's fine.
All right. Well, you know.
It's already been 46 minutes for the most part. And we
That's
have
true.
like a half hour.
Yeah,
Well, in
you
that
said-
case, yeah. At least in that case, may I ask you guys some questions instead?
Go ahead, yeah.
Let's switch this up. Okay.
Yeah, flip it
So,
around.
I'm curious here. In the greatest debate known to man, who is better, Mario or Sonic?
Mario. I actually rather dislike Sonic games.
Wow, I thought there'd at least be some kind of dispute there.
No, not really.
Well,
All right.
Rabbit has an answer. Rabbit?
I'm gonna pick Sonic because he's getting picked on by everyone else and no one else picked him. Okay.
Hipster.
Showing pity to the poor blue hedgehog.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Oh, a lot actually, but I don't know. I don't know. Mario, it seems funnier to me that you have a fat plumber going out and saving the princess, which, by the way, maybe he's not really rescuing her from Bowser. Maybe Bowser actually just owns her. He's like trying to steal her or something like that.
But
Well, Mario is a drug
that's
addict.
a really creepy idea. That's like, no,
He does
Bowser
like
just
mushrooms.
owns this lady, and
Yeah.
Mario's trying to steal this lady. Like, that's getting into some uncomfortable territory there, Cabral.
What?
I'm sorry, I was bored. I haven't been online in like a week. I haven't had time to talk and Yeah.
To make jokes about women being owned by Bowser. Okay.
yes, I haven't had time to make those jokes I make.
Oh,
Anyway,
Lordy.
Any other questions?
Hey, actually,
before I set AR off.
here's a question in terms of like video game stuff.
Yep.
Silent protagonist versus voice protagonist. What's your thought on that? All of you, actually.
All of us.
Wait, what's the question?
Silent protagonist versus voice protagonist. There's kind of this thing that's been going on for a while where even though we're now at a point where it's pretty easy to, voice a character and generally games are getting better and better written, the silent protagonist still survives. And part of that kind of comes down to the fact that the voice protagonist is generally better defined. He's more of a character. Obviously, like, Master Chief, as much as he's kind of a one-note character, is still better defined than Gordon Freeman in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
And, Sonic is probably slightly better defined character-wise than Mario. On the other hand, there is a lot of, if not more, love for guys like Gordon Freeman and Mario than there are for, Master Chief and Sonic, even though both camps have, huge numbers of supporters. So where do you guys kind of go down that? Do you like a silent protagonist? Do you like a voice protagonist?
Personally, for me, if I have a chance to speak first, is that all right with everyone else?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Personally, for me, I do prefer the silent protagonist because
it lets you put the voice in their head. Because sometimes, like, when I'm playing a game, I don't necessarily want to hear the voice of the character. It's like if you ever play Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was silent protagonist. Brilliantly well done because you're choosing the whole story, but he doesn't need a voice at all. The character you're playing, or she, doesn't need a voice at all. I prefer it because for some reason, it adds to the game for me. I like the idea that they're not using a voice to portray this character. You're getting the whole story of the character through the dialogue in the game with the text, basically, and you're learning through the actions of the character. I like that idea a bit more. That's me. So I like ponies too.
Okay.
Lightning Rabbit?
I think it depends on the game. Like Gordon Freeman has become the great silent protagonist now. I think it wouldn't work because we're used to him not having a voice. It wouldn't work for him to have a voice. I think it makes it. There's a lot more atmosphere if you haven't got him commentating on it all the time, like in Bioshock Infinite, where like Booker DeWitt, as he's walking around, he just keeps going when he looks at things. Yeah, and it's like there's not really much need for him to speak at all in those parts, but I think it depends on the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Personally, I like silent protagonists a little bit more sometimes.
Real quick, a good example of that, if you ever played Jak and Daxter, the first Jak and Daxter, Jak was a silent protagonist for the most part. It was Jak, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because Daxter was the orange thing. Jak was a silent protagonist. He didn't speak at all. Yeah, he went basically when he hit stuff, but silent protagonist, and you understood a little bit of his character. And didn't really expand it out a lot in the first game. Second game, you learn a lot more about Jak, but he has a voice, which is really weird. It's a weird transition going from a silent character to having him talk right in the second game.
Well, to be fair, we have so many great examples of silent protagonists who were given voices and that not working out badly at all. Like Samus constantly talking about the baby in Metroid Other M, or Link with his whole, well, excuse me, princess.
To be fair, though, those characters were written by people not normally in charge of their development. You said, for example, Link there. Yeah, that was done by an American cartoon series trying to give him the zany 80s feel. I mean, for crying out loud, most of the Mario cartoons at the time was about Mario wanting to feed his gold faster than Garfield.
Yep.
As for Samus, she actually has talked before in video games. If you ever played Metroid Fusion, she actually has a ton of inner monologues. And what have you, that are actually really deep, to say a lot about her character and give her quite a voice. So,
It really depends as well, like Lightning said on the game too.
Well, there's a difference between like the written dialogue and the spoken dialogue. Yeah, giving an actual voice to the character. That changes the nature of the character in a lot of ways. As Cabral said, the protagonists of the KOTOR games, or the protagonists of the KOTOR games, I should say, they do have dialogue. You can flesh out their characters a lot, but they don't have an actual voice. And there is something to be said about the fact that it's very different than when they do get a voice. A good example is Dragon Age 1 and Mass Effect 1. Came out relatively in the same time frame, made by the same company. One game had a voice protagonist, one game had a silent protagonist. A silent protagonist with written dialogue that you could select. And you got a very different feeling from each of the characters. The Dragon Age Warden, Grey Warden, was not really as defined, but on the other hand, they had a lot more available choice to give the player. The character could kind of become whatever the player wanted him or her to be. Whereas Commander Shepard from Mass Effect really kind of comes down to one of two archetypes of a character.
Shep is best Shep. Sorry.
Shep?
Shep.
I know a lot of people who feel that way. I personally like Mark Meer, but Jennifer Hale is probably the better.
Bye-bye.
I personally like.
I know a lot of people hate Meer's voice, but I like. Here's the thing. I think.
No. Okay, to make it clear, I don't hate his voice. I just love Shep's actress that much more.
No, I more understand.
I don't hate.
My thing with it is, I think actually Meer does a slightly better Paragon Shepard, but his renegade shepherd is awful, whereas Jennifer Hill does a wonderful renegade shepherd.
And see, that's the thing. I mean, to me, it's not whether how strong their character is, if whether they're good or bad. It's the fact that if you take a regular male shepherd through the Mass Effect storyline, whether it's good or bad, it's basically another cookie cutter story where this big Marine guy goes through and fights a bunch of aliens. Where instead you have a woman who fights incredible odds to save the universe. It's a nice fresh take that I just drool over, and I wish that was what they initially did. But I understand the whole reason for choices and all that. But still, to me, it's like such a stronger tale.
Fair enough. Though I personally kind of think that one of the stronger elements of Mass Effect's, binary gender thing is the same strength that like the Saints Row series has, which is the protagonist's gender really doesn't matter, which I think is actually a stronger feminist statement than having a deliberately female protagonist, is to say it doesn't matter. Her gender does not matter. She is a badass, no matter what she is. She could be a man, she could be a woman. This character is an incredibly strong person whose gender does not dictate their their actions. That's an awesome message, and that's one of the things I do really love about BioWare. They tend to do that a lot better than a lot of other companies do.
So how about that Mass Effect 3 ending?
Hill is wonderful.
Okay.
But
to answer your initial question, my take on the whole silent and vocal protagonist, I'm actually very much divided because I think about characters that have fantastic audio, like as seen in, let's see, top of my head, like Borderlands, like all the characters you can play as, they have fantastic one-liners and stories that I just absolutely adore. And this is coming from the guy who plays as Craig the Psycho in Borderlands 2, where most of his rants are just poop train and stuff.
Best one-liners in the world, right there.
Which makes me giggle every time.
Yeah.
And then there is characters like, I probably get some flack for this, Nathan Drake, who I just want to shove a sock down his throat and sew his lips shut. I mean, so it's like a give or take. As you say, it depends on the game.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, as you create more and more technologies that allow us to get into the character and really kind of deep from their perspective, I think it's going to be more essential that we have more silent protagonists. Only because it's a bit disconcerting when you're playing first-person shooters sometimes, or going this way or that, and you feel like, okay, this is me playing the game, and yet you hear a voice coming out of essentially you. That's not you saying it. It's just weird. I think it takes away the illusion.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Knights of the Old Republic, because they didn't give a voice to the characters, so there wasn't a need for it.
Yeah. For me, honestly, I think it actually kind of comes down to a slightly weird thing, but I kind of think that the choice of voice versus non-voice protagonist, it always works best depending on the camera angle, on the way the camera works.
Third person, first person, or something?
Yeah, first person works best with silent. Side view, side scroll and stuff like that tends to work better with silent. Because both those situations are ones where you're either in the head of the character, or the character is really just sort of a game construct and really doesn't need to have a serious voice that is kind of from that area. Whereas a third-person game, third person tends to work much better with a voice. If you're going to tell a character story, I prefer it to be in third person, because then it's more like you are following an actual person as opposed to piloting a person.
Yep.
You're still piloting them, obviously, but it feels more like you're kind of watching them do things rather than you being them. And them having a voice and being able to be characterized works much better for me than when they try and do that to the person who is inhabiting the body that your camera is shoved in the face of.
It's an interesting concept, and I don't know how we got on this topic.
Well, he asked the question.
Sonic and Mario, I think.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Mario,
that was it.
yeah. And then Duhad goes, well, what do you think of characters who can talk and characters who can't? I think they're nice. He's like, good. And we moved on.
In that case, then, are there any more questions for us? Because I like being asked questions. No one asked me questions about me.
That's the question much before. Favorite pony, go.
Everyone else go first. You put me on the spot too much.
Oh, for God. Everyone knows who your favorite pony is. You already said it so many times.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It
Alex.
may be Luna.
Maybe.
Mine may be Rainbow Dash.
Okay.
Crimey. The thing is, mine changes a little bit.
He's indecisive.
Depending which episode you watch per day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it seems like it kind of goes into rotation. But
You got one for every day of the week. You change them around.
yeah, it's yeah.
Except
Like,
Sunday.
Yeah, I really like Twilight. I identify with her probably more. I identify with Twilight and Fluttershy more than just any other characters, and I generally say Fluttershy is probably my favorite. Though I don't know entirely why, but for some reason I really, really love Sweetie Belle. Like
She's adorable.
Not
she's
like
so
that.
cute. I really like, I like Sweetie Belle. I really like Sweetie Belle and Rare. They are together, like separate. They're both
1 second. You go ahead. I'm fun calling me.
solid characters, but put them together and they suddenly are elevated to, best pony status as a unit.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, trying to think here. I know. So whenever we interview someone to join our group or to kind of test their mettle, I actually ask them a certain question just to see how they answer it. And I'm curious to see what you guys come up with.
Okay.
Okay? So, you are now the center of attention in a 3-ring circus. You have to entertain an entire crowd, or they will, let's just say, put you to the death by, I don't know, beheading you. Yeah. So, to entertain them, all you have with you is an angry midget, a rubber ducky, and a little... and some bamboo. What do you do?
Okay, so we have an angry midget, a giant crowd, some bamboo. They already mentioned the bamboo, the midget, and the rubber ducky.
Can I chase the crowd away by giving the angry midget the stick of bamboo, and then he chases the crowd away, and then I will play with the rubber duck?
Okay, so first things first.
And mind you, this question is for Asa or Asa first.
Asa,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. How I would handle it is step 1: take the duck and stick it on top of the bamboo.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2: hand the bamboo duck to the midget.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, pick up a second piece of bamboo and begin to clang swords against him in an incredibly awkward and unrealistic fashion. Midget, who is incredibly pissed off by all of this and considering this to be a really dumb waste of time, starts shouting at me. I start shouting back at him using the most absurdist voices I can manage. The midget, who's now like, what the heck? This doesn't make any sense at all. Eventually throws up throws away his pole. I quickly run over and hit the duck over into the audience. The audience is confused by this because they didn't expect that to happen. Then I run over and whack the midget with the bamboo in the knee. He's pissed. He's really angry because this has all just been this complete nightmare for him because he's been stuck with me in the middle of the circus and he might get his head cut off and he's in a bad mood to begin with because his girlfriend just left him. So he starts chasing me. I start running around making really high-pitched noises as the midget's chasing me. Hopefully the crowd really starts digging on this. If they don't, then while they're trying to figure out what to do with the duck and trying to figure out where the executioner went off to, I jump into the crowd, run over the tops, and throw myself off the back of the bench and run. The midget is following me, but he gets caught up in the crowd and creates a giant panic, and everyone starts fighting, and then I'm home free. That's what I do.
Okay, that's the first. Well, then again, every time I hear an answer to that, one of those my questions like that, I usually get random stuff. But during the interviews, we try to test how well they can improvise. So I usually start by saying, okay, either I go to the circus or someplace else, and look at various things on my desk and ask what they would do with it in those situations. just to kind of see another variation of there. Who else is in the car? Now I don't remember. It's
The lightning
Rabbit.
aka Alex.
well, someone's on the phone, right?
Yeah, that'd be Cabral.
Yep.
Cabral? Okay. Get the rabbit. Okay. Rabbit, my boy, you are stuck on a deserted island. All you have with you right now is some 3D glasses, a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal, and a banjo. What do you do?
You got the easy one.
Well, that's an interesting one. 3D glasses and a Mickey Mouse. What was it?
What about Mickey Mouse?
Plushie, you name it.
Okay, well, I think that I will put the 3D glasses on straight away because when I eventually succumb to dehydration, my vision will probably look like I'm looking through 3D glasses at some point anyway. So I might as well get it over with to start. I would then sit the Mickey Mouse plushie down. I'm guessing there'll be at least one palm tree or something on this desert island. I'd sit that down and start talking to it so that I don't go entirely mad straight away, even though talking to it probably constitutes me being mad. And I'd also learn how to play the banjo, because if I've got nothing else to do, it would keep me occupied.
What was the question? I want to know now.
Oh, you want to know the question? Okay. So, Axel, Fredo, Erzo, Amen. What's his name? I'm confused.
AR.
AR. Okay.
Yes, or Cabral.
Cabral, that's the one I'm looking for. Cabral.
Yeah, that's my last name. So.
I'm horrible with names.
That's fine. Cabral's a cool name, so you should be able to remember that one.
Yeah. Okay, Cabral. You need to buy the best Christmas gift ever for your mom. Thing is, you only have, let's say, a $10 to your name, and you have to decide between either a bloody pigeon salt shaker, triple pencil sharpener, or last but not least, a simple but elegant paper cutting holy hand grenade. What do you get her for Christmas?
Right there. Well, obviously, we're going to get her three pencil sharpener.
Yeah, the triple pencil sharpener?
Yeah, I'm obviously going to get that one for her.
Okay. Even though this is...
She can use it for more than just pencils as well. She can use it for her mascara as well. So.
Okay. Yeah, you jumped in my series of odd questions I usually ask people coming into our group. I usually bring up a really random, on the top of my head improv question. Wanted to see you guys handle it, because either involves a circus, a back alley where you be attacked by a dwarf, or a deserted island.
Incidentally, if a ship
that mine
comes
didn't have
along,
anything to do with the deserted island, a dwarf, or
if I'm still sat on this island, I'd like to also make a point that if a ship comes along, I can use the reflection off the 3D glasses to signal for help.
3D glasses are not very useful for... Well, the new 3D glasses are the old red and blue ones.
I'm going to say the new ones because I'm the one stuck on the island, so...
Oh, fair enough.
No, but if it was the red and blue ones, that wouldn't work very well.
So you're only stuck on the island for so long, though, because eventually I get out of the circus, find a boat, charter it, and then use it to, find you, because I need help dealing with the midget who's now sworn vengeance. Because,
he's swimming after you. He's got the strongest arms ever. And
clearly after Christmas, my mother sent me away.
We'll go to AR once you've picked me up, and then we'll give the midget to him so that he can give it to his mum for his birthday.
The midget is pissed off and trying to kill me. Why are we giving it to AR?
Because maybe
AR's
mum likes angry midgets. I don't know.
It's like that thing is a couple area of human ownership again. That's creepy. I mean, the midget may want to kill me, but he's still a person. Let's treat him with some respect.
He did try and stab me, but let's give him credit. He is still a nice person.
I'm sure he's a really nice guy when he's not really angry. And to be fair, I did kind of throw him under the bus when it came to leaving him in the circus full of murderers.
I think you literally threw him under the bus. But the point.
What do you mean? Why would I do that?
I don't know. It's not the worst thing you've done, Duhad. We know there's skeletons in your closet.
Yeah, he's trying to kill me, but that's no reason to be a jerk.
Well, then just run to the lightning island. My mom's going to banish me because of the gift I got her. Send me on a plane. The plane's going to crash, land on the island. We're going to use supplies, build a wrap up some metal and floaty tubes, and then we're going to escape. And then we're going to leave from there, use the Mickey Mouse's doll string and all the stitching. We're going to tie that dwarf to the tree. We're going to put the 3D glasses on him, and then what we're going to do, we're going to freak him out with those black boxes from the plane.
Then he's just a freaked out, angry midget, and we're still on, a little metal raft in the middle of the ocean.
He'll never escape.
Yes.
Yeah, see, the plan doesn't work as well because now we don't have
a large supply of peanuts because of the plane crash.
What we should do
we
is
only have so many peanuts, and they're salty, and the salt water from the ocean isn't going to help. We need
No,
water sources.
it's like a
Well, there's also a
donkey.
couple bottled water.
What you need to do is get the angry
Where's the
midget and attach a piece of string to a stick, and then attach a picture of Duhad's face onto it, and he can pull the raft because he'll be going after the picture of Duhad because he's angry at Duhad.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Good thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is why the British is with us.
And so
Okay,
there we
well,
have it.
I think we managed to solve this problem.
Meanwhile,
You've thoroughly
Jack
solved
is
this problem.
across the ocean in a super speedboat, and he sees us on the raft. He either saves us or he sinks us. His choice.
All right, Jack, you have a choice.
Oh, sorry. I was just boggled by how far along you guys were taking this.
Yeah, this is what happens.
First off,
I thought you were on a boat and you found us with the angry midget in our raft.
yeah.
And that's when I set my fingers in this reveal. It was all a dream, because that is by far the easiest cop out when it comes to endings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
It was all a
cliche.
dream. And then the midget wakes up in your bed. What is it, darling?
It was all a dream.
I tell you to go back to bed at blink.
I know who killed Laura Palmer.
I hate that movie.
That would be a TV show. So,
No. The TV show led into the movie.
right, Firewalk with Me. Right.
Ah!
I deliberately did not watch Firewalk with Me. I was like, you know what? This series is great. It kind of has a weird ending, and I don't know what's happening. But I'm not gonna watch the movie. I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want to relive that moment, that hour and a half I spent watching the movie. Oh, God.
That's how I feel about Eraserhead. I did.
That's how I feel about Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Oh, God. Yeah, that one, too.
That's how I feel about Skype, but it's the other way around because I accomplish nothing when I go on Skype.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Watching films like Firewalk with Me, Eraserhead, or even Final Fantasy: Spirits Within, you're at least getting something out of it. Something that hurts, but it's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about that one movie you were talking about, the horrible one where they changed actors in the middle of the movie?
Oh, The Room?
Yeah, The Room.
That you know,
Tell me was
that
so.
was funny.
Told me why so.
There's nothing really to be said about that film apart from you feel slightly stupider for watching it.
Well, you feel slightly better about yourself because you realize that even you could make a better film than Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, I'm sure we all could.
You get busy.
Damn,
Sound Speed and Tommy Wiseau. You remember that, Rabbit?
The what, sorry?
Sound Speed is Tommy Wiseau in our readings.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, that's
hi,
right.
Mark.
He was doing the Tommy Wiseau voice.
Anyway, after that illustrious escapade of
So, back to
tangents.
ponies.
Yeah.
Pony.
Pony.
Oh, hey, related to who is best pony, I got a question for all of you, mostly Jack, because I think the rest of you have actually said this before, but who is worst pony?
Oh,
I've never said that before, actually.
Yep.
Snips?
I love the voice actor. He's like the nicest guy in the
Oh,
world.
yeah. Oh, no,
But
we go first.
the character Snips and Snails and Steven Magnet just make me want to punch my ear holes out.
Oh, what a wow! Anyways.
oh, God, that voice.
I used to be able to do Snips' voice, actually. I don't know if I still can. I'm not going to try because you'll probably kick me out of the call.
Yes, like, you will be banished from the call.
How about you, Lightning Rabbit? I know that you have a healthy obsession with Luna. But
I do
who you
not.
like?
I can still have you sued for slander, don't worry.
Wait, you can sue people for that in England?
However, this isn't going to help my case much. Anything that isn't Luna is worst pony. That didn't really help my case. That didn't really help my case at all, but that's besides the point.
Is that seriously your answer? Like, anything that is not Luna is worse?
Yes.
Sweetie Belle?
I take a tough line with this sort of thing. There's no exceptions.
Fair enough. Cabral?
I don't really know. I mean, I don't really have one that I hate. If I look at the character, I'm not going to say
You just have to
absolutely
like
hate them. They should have come back.
Fanon can be included if it helps.
Oh, yeah. Fanon can be included?
Like, not Fanon characters, but, like, the Fanon surrounding characters that, like, their victims, their, the way they're portrayed in the character. I know that a lot of people really dislike certain background ponies just because of, the way the fandom has kind of, created them or painted them.
Yeah.
I don't really have one that I dislike, though. That's the problem. I kind of like them all. I mean...
He's too friendly.
I'm too friendly. I'm Pinkie Pie. This is a hard question for me.
Is there any like villains you don't like? Come on, there's gonna be someone you don't like that much.
I don't know.
Who is?
Snails.
Guy selling cherries, I guess. I don't know. Go with him. He took advantage of Fluttershy. He's a jerk. There. I guess I just like him.
Okay.
So on subject, which is nothing actually at all to do with the subject, how about Double Rainbow? Oh, controversial.
So we're not going into that again.
We were talking about that.
I think we've had like 4 episodes where we talked about that thing, and
we still have
every
more
single one of
episodes.
them, Lightning Rabbit, you go off.
I can't help it. It deserves
like
more
me, the
ranting than it
French.
gets.
So I had the French. Lightning has Double Rainbow.
Lightning
Duhad has
also is the French because he's like the one who keeps on bringing up the French in the negative.
I bring up the French and Double Rainbow. The only thing that would have been worse is if Zachary Rich had been French.
You want to explain to our fans of DJ Jack again why it is that you dislike Double Rainbow so thoroughly?
No, because it'll take too long. There's so much.
You mean how it's just basically a well-animated, horribly written fanfic?
Yeah,
except minus the good animation because Lightning Rabbit here is an animator, and the amount of problems with animation are stunning.
I'm a vector artist and video editor, mythos and animator, but we kind of work together quite a lot. So I know that the problem I had with it was that he basically promised the world and all its riches only to deliver a medium-sized town with a moderately bad income. It wasn't, to use that analogy, he said in one of his many promotional videos that it would have 100% show accurate animation, like professional quality voice acting and all this sort of thing, and it wasn't. He overhyped it way too much, and the animation wasn't that good, and the story made no sense. I mean,
the development was horror bad. Like, let's have Twilight explain overly long how this would have every single pony in certain ways to make it super powerful. Now, no one's ever drinking it. Oh, look, there she drank it.
And she drank it.
Like, hey, I wonder what's going to happen at the end of this explanation.
The ending kind of... The lesson that was taught was... I can't remember exactly, but it's something like don't touch things that don't belong to you, I guess, was it? Or...
It was like, maybe I shouldn't have drunk the potion and destroyed the entire town.
Well, that's a lesson, I guess. But the fact is that it's like a complex sentence. You could have taken the middle bit out, and it still would have made perfect sense. But unlike a complex sentence, the middle bit didn't actually contribute to the rest of the story anyway. There was no need for them to go to that other universe and all that sort of thing, and it just seemed really clunky. That's not how it was just bad.
Yeah.
And that was the problem. Also, it was overhyped. I think I might have mentioned that about 6 times already, but it was overhyped.
I can mention one good thing about it.
What?
There's one tiny, small glimmer of quality in the series.
The soundtrack was good, though.
Apart from the soundtrack, which was actually pretty solid, there was one other piece of delightful things that helped elevate it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the very few pieces of fandom, big name fandom, creations that appear on EQD that didn't involve Trixie.
That's true.
In any shape or form.
Also, the intro and outro was quite well animated. But the real kicker was the fact that it came.
You made the point that the intro and the outro was really well done, which I said is sad considering that when your ending is better than the overall video, then that's
and I think the real kicker was the fact that the same week that came out, Snowdrop came out, and
also
Snowdrop was really nice, and there was no hype. There was just one release trailer, and that was all it was, and everyone liked it. It had a nice little story going on, and then Double Rainbow came out with this massive hype train, and then it wasn't actually as good, and that was the problem. Also, Duhad is breaking up?
No, Cabral's breaking up.
Okay, Cabral's breaking up. Recently, on his animator show reel, Zachary Rich politely disagreed, to quote what he said, to a comment which said that Double Rainbow could have been written a whole lot better. He said, "I never intended to write a canonical episode, but instead wanted something that poked a little fun at the show itself. Thus, the reason why everything was blah, blah, blah." The point is that he's saying now that it was a parody, but when it was being advertised, he said it was the first fan-made episode. That's what it had kind of been dubbed. And really, I don't really see much parody in there. There's nothing that's really parody about it. There's little gags in there, but it's not really parody, I wouldn't have said.
Yeah, the closest thing to parody you get is the fact that it comes off as a particularly bad episode of the show with ridiculously heavy fan influences and stupid internet references.
Yeah. Well, because parody
And
is
that's
like...
not really a parody as much as just screwing up and saying that it was intentional.
Yeah, well, like, parody is deliberately over-exaggerating something for comic effect, and it wasn't really that over-exaggerated. It was just kind of bland. Anyway, Double Rainbow.
Anyway, hey, so...
We said we weren't going to do it, but we did it anyway.
Yeah, hey, guys, I hope you like hearing about how much we dislike Double Rainbow, because there it was again.
Yeah. If you missed it last time, here it is again.
Oh, man.
So anyway...
Is it working now?
Yeah, it seems to be working now. Anyway, I think we're just about out of time. I think we're just about out of time. Sort of went through some weird periods there. The show's kind of most more of a hodgepodge of different episodes. You stop playing the bloody guitar.
Why are you playing the guitar for?
I was playing a sad song because my internet died.
I know, but your internet's still pretty bad, so it's like really difficult to hear.
Your internet's bad.
No, it's just your connection.
You're a towel. You're a towel.
Okay, anyway, so, hey everybody, it's been really great meeting and greeting with Mr. DJ Jack of Radio Magic Entertainment. You can find his site down below in the descriptions or at radiosmagicentertainment.com or .org.
.org, yeah.
Anyway, for End to End, this is Duhad, Lightning Rabbit.
Oh,
I'm a guitar player.
Cabral.
Guitar player.
DJ Jack. And from all of us to you, good night, good luck, have fun, eat your Brussels sprouts, and I have good news for you.
And be really long-winded about the outro.
Style. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Jack's a guitar player.
So soon.